What's going on, guys? It's Christian Velasquez, mortgage loan originator at Nationwide Mortgage Bankers on the Own It team. I'm here with my guy.
Christopher Reimers, team leader of the iconic team.
That's right.
That's
the
it.
most iconic team out there.
I was like, what else do I say to introduce myself?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That's it. You're the team leader. That's it. So when did you start your team?
Man, this goes way back. I don't want to age myself.
Oh,
That's
you're about
the
to.
thing. So I've been in real estate going on almost 11 years now.
Damn.
Yeah.
11 years?
Yeah, you know, it's so crazy. It's
Shit.
getting to that point because I remember back when I was like in my early stage of my career, I'm like, I'm not going to be one of those people that's been like, I've been in the business for like 15, 20 years. And I'm slowly getting there. And I'm like, oh man, I got to like do something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been in the business almost 11 years now. I started my team with my sister back in 2017. So we run our team together.
Nice.
2017. Yeah, almost 8 years now.
And-
Jeez.
And was that always with DH Citadel? Was it with somebody else?
We've had a journey through the growth of our team. We started the team at Keller Williams. We were there for a majority of our real estate career for about 5 years. We ended up leaving there. We went to EXP for a short stint, and then now we decided to go the small brokerage route. And you know what we've seen over the years is like we just need the best platform for our team where we can give them the most resources and just make it as seamless as possible for them. That's always been like my idea of having a team has always been, how do I lead other people and how do I give them the most resources? That was always my thing. And the reason I started a team, and even on like the other side of agent development, I got into coaching, was because when I first started my real estate career, I never really had a solid go-to person. There was always people within the office that I can go to for questions, but nobody that was directly tied to my career and my success. And I wanted to be that person to other people because I know how challenging it could be to navigate this career, especially coming from a completely different background. I came from retail management. So although it is customer service based, just like real estate, I worked at Sephora.
It's a much bigger purchase price.
It's a much bigger
You're not
purchase
buying
price.
on your dad's credit card.
Exactly. You're not going and saying, I'm going to go get like a foundation or a moisturizer for my face. And I was working in a space where, you know, I didn't really know anything about skincare or makeup. That wasn't a thing. So that's what really got me
You got
into
beautiful
real estate.
skin, man. Clearly, you stole some items from there.
But yeah, I always wanted to be
Awesome.
that resource to people, just to make sure, you know, I can be that person that kind of helps navigate other people's career and just helps really just feed back to the community.
Yeah, and I think that's where like a lot of people fail.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, when they first get into the business, they're like, "Oh, I want to get into real estate,"
Yeah.
and then they're like, "Oh, I joined this team," but then you either see them leave the business or you see them continue to bounce from brokerage to brokerage, and I think you're kind of alluding to what they're missing is that proper mentorship.
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's a big thing. And a lot of times people do hop around from brokerage to brokerage looking for I feel like a lot of people don't know what they're looking for, and that's what keeps them jumping from place to place. But I think once you have an idea, it becomes a lot easier because you know exactly what you're tying to. And I think that's why there's such a great space for all these different companies to exist, because there's always going to be something for some people. Like one company might have a ton of technology, but if you're a person who hates technology, that's not
We
going
just
to be.
talked about this, right? The people
Yeah.
who don't like social media and like don't want to use it. So yeah, and people can get by, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the interesting
Yeah.
part is you see people. I think nowadays you think like, oh, you have to be on social media. You have to be on social media to be successful as an agent, loan officer, attorney, whatever it is. But there's a lot of people who continue to crank out business, and you've never met them on social media before.
Yeah, and people who have no presence on social media. But what I will say is, for me, in my space and where I've been at, man, I don't know how I would have succeeded without social media. Even very early on in my career, just like thinking back of the things that I used to do to what I'm doing now and how I've been able to leverage social media as a platform, not even just for creating content, but for building relationships, and how it's been how it's had the ability for me to build so many different relationships with so many people, not even just in real estate, but just even in like my personal life.
100%, 100%.
awesome.
Yeah, the amount of people that like I've met just through like just through Instagram, right?
Yeah.
You run across somebody's page, you start liking their stuff,
Yep.
you start commenting, DMing. All of a sudden, the next thing you know, like you're having a meeting with them.
Yeah, it's
And like,
crazy.
how else would you have met them? The other alternative is like you have to go to like a lot of networking events, or you have to be making a lot of like cold calls, basically,
Yeah.
and hoping that eventually like somebody picks up. So.
Yeah. And I can
Yeah.
imagine how frustrating that would be for somebody in your position. It's like, I
Yeah.
gotta sit here and call all these
Yeah.
realtors. A
I
lot
still
of people
do it.
have, yeah, and a lot of people already have relationships. So I feel like it would probably be a lot harder for you to be able to create those relationships without having that presence. Because I know one thing I do is anytime I meet with somebody, even a client, first thing I'm doing is I'm going to social media. I'm going to look you up and see what you're
You're gonna look up the
about.
client.
I'm like, do you do crazy stuff?
Yeah.
How do I connect with you? Are you going to be one of
Yeah.
those that might be like a little bit interesting?
Okay. That's funny. You bring up like you saw somebody who like used to go skydiving, and you're like, yo, I really want to go skydiving. All of a sudden, like they go into this whole story about them skydiving. And they're like, how'd you know? I
Like,
don't
oh,
know.
wild guess.
Yeah, wild guys. You look like a
I definitely
skydiver.
didn't look you up.
Yeah. That's funny. That's a good way to connect with people, though.
Yeah.
So then, so for like the newer agents, right? Particularly the ones on your team, right?
Yeah.
We were just talking about them as well. How do you think newer agents could do well with social media when they don't have buyers, they don't have listings?
Man, it's such a beautiful thing to be able to leverage social media, especially as a newer agent, because even coming in, right? I've leveraged social media over the years to really build out and reconnect with my sphere of influence. And I think back to when I first started where nobody really knew me. I'm like, what was I doing back then in order to build my trust in people?
Yeah.
Like, how do people feel like, oh, this is a reliable source to go to? And I'm like, man, now social media, it's so much easier because you could leverage all of the real estate world. You can have conversations like this. You could be somebody brand new, just have a conversation, put it on social media. People get to
Yeah.
see your personality. You can go out, show listings, even listings that are not yours, because there's so many
happens all the
vacant,
time, yeah.
so many vacant listings. You can go through. People love that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People want to see what's out there, especially like houses that are beautiful. It makes people dream, and that's how you really connect with people, because you find out who's in the market. People will reach out to you. They'll, where is this? How much is this? And then you can easily spin the conversation. It's in this area. Why? Are you looking?
Yeah. They're asking for a reason.
Yeah, they're asking. Usually they're
Yeah.
asking. Some people are just nosy. I get a lot of those. They're like, oh,
That
how
too,
much is
that
that?
too.
I'm like, why? You need something? No, I just
Yeah.
want to know.
That's the interesting part though with like social media, right? Because you may be posting, you may be, putting stories up, things like that, engaging with people, and you may not get a lot of engagement yourself, as in like people actually liking and commenting, but there's always people in the background who are like lurking. And they'll know, know that you're doing business. So eventually they reach out to you, or if it's somebody in the industry, they know that you're doing business, so they'll want to work with you.
Yeah.
Again, whether it's for your team or you make an offer on their listing and
Yeah.
they know you already.
It makes it so much easier, especially I've built relationships with people that I've worked with that I've known them from social media, and then when it's time to do a transaction together, it's like, I feel like I know you're best friends. I'm like, we could be. Let's get this deal done.
You got the personality for it.
Yeah,
You can mold with
it's-
anybody.
Yeah, it's really good. And something that I do is I push to get my agents to leverage the inventory that we have as a team.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even really at this point anymore ever really put out like just listed or just sold. I feel like that's just a byproduct of putting yourself out there that people will just automatically assume through getting to view your content. They can tell like, yeah, you're out here and you do transactions.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you, oh, I just listed. It's cool for marketing purposes of the listing, but 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to put a just listed, or I'm going to do a video of the house and it's going to sell because somebody saw it on social media.
Of course.
But I like to have my agents leverage that. I'm like, hey, you go, make it what you want. Show
Yeah.
other people, especially if you're newer, people want to see that other people have entrusted you with their homes to sell or to buy. So they know that, well, if somebody else thinks that you could do it and you did it, I should be able to trust you also.
Absolutely. I think like one of the big things that worked for me when I first started was even though, again, I work in mortgages, I'm not the one focusing on having listings, things like that. As you know, it's not my job. I would post every single open house I would go to. And even though at that time when I first started, I was like really not doing much business, I would just get friends all the time that would be like, people from high school, they'd be like, oh, wow, you're so busy. Like, you're crushing it in real estate. You're doing this, you're doing that. Meanwhile, like, I had like 1 or 2 deals under my belt, but I was like, hey, if that's what you want to believe, like, sure. You know what I'm saying? Not one of those like fake it till you make it, but like, again, you're putting things out there, and the average person is not going to really know that, my job is not to have a listing. My job is to do the financing. But now they start to ask you questions, right? Now they start to get that conversation. And so just because of the fact that I was posting, now they know that I'm doing things.
And then you become that real estate resource. So whether it's somebody wants to sell their home, that's great if somebody wants to sell their home and they come to you. Because now you have your relationships with the realtors. Absolutely. And that's how you create the value add for the realtors. It's like, hey, I'm out here, I'm making these connections myself, and I can actually reciprocate, because a lot of people, they can't do that.
Yeah, that listing's going to you. Don't worry about it. I got you. Don't leave me hanging.
It's like, yes, plug. But it's such a cool place to be able to grow, man. Like, I look at my business and where it's at now, kind of going back to what you were saying about like how people are watching in the background. Like, I'll look at a lot of my numbers compared to what I would see with other people's, and it's like, I don't get like 1 million likes. I'll get a pretty decent amount.
Yeah.
I don't get like thousands and thousands of views. I'll get like maybe 1,000 or 2.
Yeah.
But then I look at my business compared to other people's, and I say, I'm probably getting more business from social media than you are. You're getting more eyes on yours.
Yeah.
But is it translating? And I think sometimes people get wrapped up in like the technical stuff or the stuff that doesn't really matter. Like, I want more likes. Why? Is it turning into more transactions? I'd rather get 10 likes and 15 views and get a deal than 40,000 views and 2,000 likes and nothing came from it. 100%. It's like, what does that do for me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want it to actually convert into something.
Yeah. And that's what I've seen over the years, but a lot of people fall short with social media because they feel like, oh, I'm just going to put out content and leave it there. It's like, no, you actually have to interact with people. Mm-hmm. People want to see that I saw the video, I'm interacting with you now. It's the same thing. I can trust that.
Yeah. So there's something that speaking of like interaction, right? There's something that I've been working on. It's called like daily magic. And basically what that is you're actually tailoring people's algorithms to yours. And so the way that works is basically, I try and spend maybe like half an hour a day intentionally on social media, aside from like, watching random TikTok videos and like stupid shit, right?
Man, that stuff is...
it gets a little hard to crack. I'm not perfect. But one of the things that has actually worked for me is I'll spend half an hour and I will look for about 10 different people that I haven't interacted with lately, and I'll like their last post and I'll comment something, right? And to the average person or to somebody on the other side who's not like trained in something like this, they may look at it as, oh, they're just liking my material, they're just being nice, which I am. Don't get me wrong. It has to be genuine. You can't just, post BS because people will pick up on it. But what you're doing is you're actually tailoring their algorithm to yours.
That's interesting.
So that way now, next time I post something, I might be the first story to pop up. Or next time that I, make a full post or a reel, whatever it is, I'm going to start showing up more on their feed.
What? That's interesting, because I've realized that like people will post stuff and I'm like, how come every time I open the app, it's your post that pops up?
Yeah, if you interacted with it, it's going to start happening.
I figure like it had to be something with how they have the algorithm set up. Yeah. But it's just so interesting that you can reprogram it.
Yeah, and it's so like we do it already unintentionally, which is exactly what you're saying. But now that there's like a strategy behind to it, now you can really start implementing and being a little bit more intentional.
I'm gonna start messaging people and be like, hey, I'm trying to restructure the algorithm. That's all. Talk to you later.
Nothing crazy. You don't have to respond.
Just read it.
That's
Give me a thumbs up.
Please at least answer. Just one. A quick little answer. Nah, I feel you. But one of the things I also want to talk to you about, if you don't mind opening up about, is like how you're growing your team. Like, why should I, as a new agent, work for the Iconic team?
I love that question. For me, I would say it's genuinely rooted in my passion for pouring into people. That's my thing. What I've seen over the years with a lot of people, a lot of agents who run teams and team leaders, is that they're very heavily focused on the business for themselves. And I'm not. Like I'm gonna generate, like I have this general rule of thumb, like I can wake up and not do anything different than what I do on a daily basis without putting any super strong effort, and I can close over 10 deals a year without doing anything. And you know, in real estate, that's not a lot, but to really just exist and not really think about like, oh, I'm waking up and I'm doing lead generation, I'm doing this, it's just going about my day normally. I can easily do 10 to 15 transactions myself. So for me, it's like, I know my business is gonna come.
Yeah, you got the foundation set up.
Yeah, it's where do I go now? And I'm not ego driven where I'm like one of those that's like, I need to do 50, I need to do 100 transactions. I don't care. My passion now is pouring into other agents and helping other people grow. And for me, it's like I'm thinking long term. I don't want to be the person, like I said earlier, I've been in the business 15, 25 years. For what? Yeah. Selling? No, I want to be able to pour into people. I'll take a small portion, but if I'm able to pour into 10, 15, 20 agents, get a small piece, let them keep the lion's share, I'll be good. Yeah. I don't need to be greedy, but I also understand that I'm making a bigger impact because I can only do but so much myself. But if I'm able to go out and influence 10, 15, 20 agents myself, then they can each go out and do 10 to 12, 15 transactions a year. It's a way bigger impact than me trying to do 30 to 50 transactions myself.
And that's like, you know, on the money side, that's life-changing money for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, people who are trying to get into this going from full-time jobs, part-time realtor to try and transition to the opposite side, or even where they don't even have to work another job.
Exactly. And then I even have like something that I'm focusing more so on is, as with the agents on my team, is more so getting out of the mindset of just being a realtor, but like, how do you transition from, I'm a realtor now, how do I become a business owner, and how do I become an investor? So especially being in real estate, it's let's partner together on an investment deal.
Nice.
I want to be able to work with the agents that I work with, not only on the real estate sales side, but let's go get something together. You want to do a flip? Let's do a flip. You want to go buy and hold something and you want to be co-owners together? Let's go do that. Because I think that's the way that you start to really transition people from just giving them another job or like, oh, I got a career, into like financial freedom for their life.
That's huge.
And
right
that to me is more important because I feel like I'm actually influencing the world in a positive way. And it's not just, how do I make the most money? I don't care. Like if I'm good, I make enough money, that's fine. I don't need to be
you have
like,
your inside number, like where you want to be.
I know how much money I need to make. I know the exact way I want to live. And if I'm doing that, I don't need to be overly aggressive with more money when I know that I can go out and impact more people. For me, that's always been my thing. It's when people say, oh, I get into real estate because I want to help people. It's like, no, I actually want to help people. Like I really want to help people. It's not necessarily just about the money because I understand that the money is going to come as a byproduct.
Yeah, but that's why you had to go through that grind first of like, first you got to get yourself set up before you can set other people up. Right?
Exactly.
Because I feel like that's probably where a lot of brokers don't do as well growing a team because they're too focused on themselves and then they don't want to relinquish a little bit of business so that their other people can start to do business, right?
That's the biggest challenge. And for me, I struggled with that for years until I got to a point where now it's like every listing I have, I try to assign an agent to it and like, hey, you're going to go, you'll be the person. Usually if it's like my listing that's coming in, most of my listings are coming, or most of my deals are coming in as personal referrals. So I'll be like on the back end talking to the client. But when it comes to the other side, going out, showing the listings, negotiating with the other agents, negotiating with the buyers, you're going to do all that. I'll give you the space to do that. I'll help and I'll step in when I need to. But I want to give other people the opportunity because I feel like that's the only way that you'll be able to build trust. If I don't give you the keys to the car and let you drive, maybe you might get into a fender bender.
Yeah, you can only only be in the passenger side for so long. You know, they have to learn.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the keys. You go out, please just don't crash. Come back one time. You don't crash. Okay, I could trust you.
Yeah.
And I think that's good for the confidence of the agents as well.
Of course, and they're gonna make mistakes at the end of the day, right? Like it's gonna happen, but that's where you having that background, knowing how to guide them through those mistakes, like that's all part of it. Yeah. We're all gonna make mistakes, even now. You know. I'm sure there's something. There's mistakes that I make all the time. And I'm sure there's something you've made, but you know, it's all about how you can deal with them after.
Yeah. As long as you're not doing anything illegal, I'm fine.
Oh, 100%.
I've had situations where people have I had anybody do anything illegal? At least not that I know.
You're like trying to
I've
think.
never gotten in trouble for anything like that. I've always had a clean record.
So far you're good. Yeah. I'll knock on that wood for you too. I got you.
But most most mistakes are fixable. So
Yeah.
it's like, and that's what I'm learning, where it's like, go make your mistake, you say something crazy. But I also feel like it makes me sharper as a leader too. Because if you come in, if you find yourself in a situation where it's a little bit funny and it's something that I've experienced for the first time, my thing is like, I'm a problem solver, so I'm gonna figure it out. But now you're just making me a little bit stronger just in case I come in contact with this issue again. I'm like, I know how to do this.
You're like, I remember on
so we're gonna try this one.
May 20th, 2025, when that one thing happened to me. I know how to fix it now.
Let me get it. This is the way we're gonna fix this one. Say this.
You're gonna have to write a book on like every mistake and then just know exactly when to go back to it. I've thought about something like that before. Maybe not mistakes, but like little things that you learn.
Yeah.
Just writing it down and then literally like, you know how to use Control F on your computer?
Yeah.
Like just Control F the whatever it is that you're going through and see if it could just pop up. I don't know. My brain thinks that way. I'm like, I feel like that would work.
Cool. That would be cool. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to start that up. I'll let you know how it goes. Nice though. Okay.
Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed viewing our content. We have plenty more coming on the way. We're excited to share with you guys. Definitely follow us. Reach out to us if you do have any questions. We'd love to be that real estate resource for you.
Thank you guys again. I'm Christian. This is Chris. We're here to answer any single one of the questions that you guys have. So as he said, please like us, follow us, share it. If there's anything you want us to talk about next time, let us know, and we'll be sure to include it.